Back here a little bit. Hey everyone, this is Andy, and we are back at the Canada Connect Conference 2019, and with me is Rebecca Chambers.
Yeah, just trying to change the way we do things in the classroom.
Tell me about your session. When is it? And what's the title?
So it is this Friday at 9:30, and it is called Creating Authentic Audiences Using Social Media. Yeah.
And you had mentioned in our kind of conversation that you really want to change the way we do things in school, education, social sciences.
Yeah.
Maybe give me your thoughts on how we do that. Because I agree.
That's a long answer. So I believe that there's all kinds of different things that we need to pull into the classroom. One of them being the authentic audience, and so that the kids are doing things for a purpose rather than just a grade. I think there's a need for personalized learning and passion so that the kids are able to choose what they want to work on. I think that we need to get rid of and involve our community in our learning. I think we need to be teaching students how to use social media, and that's what we're going to be talking about in my session, and how to use it in a productive way. The reality is it's not going away. So just lots of different things, breaking down the wall actually of what we know school is, and doing things significantly different.
So you mentioned in a productive way, and a couple of the conversations, really almost all of the conversations I've had this morning, kind of run along a similar thread, which is changing the way, and I guess maybe bringing technology to be more productive for students, not just to make us more efficient, bring us a little peace to our lives. Because I think we're seeing across the board, especially in schools, students, teachers, there's a lot of anxiety. A lot of that is from, I think, the technology we use, whether it's or using technology in different ways to be more positive.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
Yeah, so that's a lot of what I'm doing with my students is trying to open up their network so that they can network with people who are going to help them in the future. But like you said, using social media for the positive rather than looking at what my friend's doing and waiting to see how many likes I get and how many fires or whatever it is that they do. It's having them becoming. I follow Don Wettrick. He's from Indiana. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him.
No.
Oh, he's amazing. You need to look him up. But it's about allowing them or teaching them to be creatives and putting out things that are, we talk a lot about the digital tattoo, and what do you want your legacy to be, and what do you want people to, when they Google your name, what do you want them to see? Do you want them to see that you are, currently in one of my classes, I have abilities, not disability, showcasing this. So when we're talking about positivity on social media, when they're focused on that, it's not necessarily anymore. It's, yes, we want people following, and yes, we want them to hear our message, but they're not so fixated on the likes and the part where I think a lot of us are getting very anxious. Who saw it, who's retweeting it, who's liking it. It's more about, did I get my message out there?
About the physically.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a way to change that physical environment, because technology can be so mobile?
Yeah.
Thoughts on?
I think it's reaching out into the community. We've been doing that a lot in my classes, and it's again, it's finding ways to allow the kids to go out and not miss other classes. But we're breaking down the walls by being out of the classroom as much as possible. So it could be, finding an organization that has a boardroom that's maybe not used during the time of your class. And, sometimes you go there, or sometimes you're working at a retirement home, or, like I value or more. Can't necessarily physically change the buildings, the institutions. But I think
And I haven't heard of like that, but do you find that the climate is ripe and kind of strict for innovation and new ideas?
yeah, I think it's coming. I think that there's another a former superintendent of mine. His name's Peter Gamwell. He wrote a book and he travels around now with people about change in our complex world, and he always says that like it's coming. There's a revolution coming. So, are there people who still question sort of this type of learning? 100%. But I also think that there are maybe not just as many, but there are many people who are really interested in learning more and just I think it's going to take time. Which everything does in education. It moves at a snail's pace. I definitely think like at our board level, these senior staff and they want to see this stuff happen.
So as a person,
I have a lot of these personalized things that my students are doing, and so like yesterday I went to create apps and I just don't have the resources or the people or whatever, so I'm hoping to be able to go back and say, okay, I now know a website where we can do prototypes and
talking about it because of this change and the snail's pace time crunch in education where teachers day to day were exhausted, don't have the time. Is that one of the elements we need is just time to start developing?
100%. 100%, yeah.